There is a specific scent that hits you this time of year. A mix of fresh pencil shavings, brand new sneakers, and crisp morning air. You might feel a sting of sadness that the long, warm summer is over, but there's also the undeniable buzz of seeing your friends again. It is a universal reset button. But if you are learning English, this transition comes with a unique hurdle. You know exactly what a typical school day feels like in your native language. Yet when you try to describe your academic routine in English, you might find yourself staring at your notebook, completely unable to find the right words. You draw a blank. Often, we try to solve this by staring at dry, contextless lists of vocabulary. It is an incredibly inefficient, old-fashioned way to learn a language. The human brain needs context and color to hold on to new information. So, we are going to build the ultimate global school day. By exploring fascinating cultural traditions from classrooms around the world, we can attach essential English vocabulary and idioms to vivid, memorable stories. Mastering these phrases provides the linguistic framework to understand how different societies shape their youth, helping you identify your own place in the global classroom. Before we dive into global customs, we need to map out the academic timeline. The terminology splits heavily between the UK and the US. On the UK side, a student starts in nursery, moves to primary school around age 5, and hits secondary school by 11. The US counterpart begins with kindergarten, moves into elementary school, splits the middle years into middle school or junior high, and finishes in high school. When you reach this older secondary phase, the way you talk about your day shifts. You aren't just attending classes anymore, you are enrolling in specific courses. You are taking notes during lectures, and you are expected to be handing in detailed assignments on time. That mechanical schedule is heavy, but it carries real emotional weight. Stepping up to a new level of education is intimidating. To help students handle the pressure, different cultures have developed highly specific ways to mark these milestones. Take a look at this image from Germany. For centuries, children starting their very first day of first grade have been handed a Schultüte. These are massive, colorful cones, completely packed with school supplies, small toys, and sweets. It gives a nervous child something tangible and exciting to hold on to while walking into a giant, unfamiliar building. Whether we use precise verbs or construct giant candy cones, both language and traditions serve to help students navigate the intimidating transition of growing up. Eventually, the first day excitement fades, and the real work begins. In English, when you need to study intensely, you say you are hitting the books. You aren't physically punching a textbook. It simply means you are committing to serious mental effort. Hitting the books causes intense stress. To combat this, many schools in India begin their mornings completely differently. This photograph captures hundreds of uniformed students collectively practicing outdoor yoga before a single class begins. By integrating ancient spiritual practices into a modern school day, these routines prioritize mental balance and physical well-being. The strategy is simple. A student who is mindful and calm will absorb information far more effectively than one who is stressed and scattered. In Western classrooms, we often label students based on how they handle that stress individually.
The student reading in the corner is a bookworm, the one cracking jokes is the class clown, and the one eager to please the instructor is the teacher's pet. If they do exceptionally well on a test, we say they passed with flying colors. But those labels are intensely individualistic. Contrast that with this classroom in Japan. This is the daily practice of osoji. Instead of leaving the mess for a dedicated janitorial staff, the students take ownership of their own environment. They wipe the desks, sweep the floors, and maintain the space together. English idioms provide the language to articulate personal academic struggles. However, the practices in India and Japan suggest that long-term achievement rests on a foundation of mental peace and collective discipline. That collective discipline extends to how students rest. This image shows the legendary French school lunch. Students aren't rushing through a pre-packaged sandwich at their desks. They sit down for a multi-course, communal meal that can last up to 2 hours. France utilizes this block as a structured lesson in work-life balance, teaching students to prioritize social connection and to truly savor their time away from the desk. While France uses the break to teach lifestyle values, Other nations use the school routine to instill civic duty. In Mexico, every Monday begins with a weekly flag ceremony. Students gather to salute the national flag and sing the anthem, tying their daily education directly to their patriotism. New Zealand schools bring their national heritage directly to the front gates. Look at this striking contrast. Many schools integrate the Maori Poiri, a traditional welcome ceremony. By confronting the formal suits of the staff with indigenous traditions, the school immediately teaches hospitality and respect for the country's roots. This respect peaks during the haka. It is a visceral, high-energy demonstration of physical power and synchronized movement, allowing students to publicly display their cultural pride and fierce unity. We see similar acknowledgments globally through simple clothing. On Canada's Orange Shirt Day, wearing a specific color acknowledges the historical injustices faced by Indigenous children, demanding truth and reconciliation. In Ghana, the Friday Wear initiative encourages students to wear vibrant, locally made textiles to support regional craftsmanship. These ceremonies prove that schools are microcosms of society, the specific environments where a nation's most vital cultural priorities are actively passed down to the next generation. You have now assembled a comprehensive set of English verbs, colorful idioms, and a rich understanding of global educational values. Now it is time to put them to work. Crack a book early this semester. When you write your essays, avoid being a copycat and brainstorm your own ideas. Use this vocabulary actively to make the grade. When you stumble over a word, don't panic. Making a schoolboy error, a simple, silly mistake, is an inevitable part of learning. Acknowledge it, learn your lesson, and keep speaking. Take a moment tomorrow morning to look closely at your own school or university. What hidden societal values are buried in the routines you repeat every single day? Choose one of the traditions we discussed today. Whether you try to channel the quiet mindfulness of India before an exam, or adopt the collective responsibility of Japan to organize your workspace, use these global perspectives to help you get into the groove of a brand new academic year.